Okay, you can kind of hear that because this is a particularly resonant Tele. This is an American vintage 62 Tele custom reissues, one of my favorite guitars. Okay, let's be honest, I like them all. But I really like that, you know, something about the binding on a 62 just kind of sets it off. This one's been sitting here in the shop for a little bit because it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's got the 7 1/4 radius and the smaller frets, makes it a little bit more challenging to do a lot of bending on. By the way, in case you haven't recognized me, I'm Jack from Guitar Showcase here on Totally Guitars. So we've done several different segments on restringing instruments, and you'll see other segments here about the Martin technique and the Gibson technique. We're going to do the old Leo Fender slot head tuning key technique. There's a cat at Fender named Jack. He used to be their chief tech, and he showed this to me, and it works really well. Had I been more alert this morning, I would have brought my Stratocaster with the trim arm. We'll have to just deal with trim arms another time. But the point being, I have a Stratocaster with a floating standard 1954 style trim arm, vibrato, for those of you being technical, with the slot heads, and I don't have any slipping problems. So I don't have a Floyd Rose. We'll cross that bridge another time. But with the slot heads, they do a kind of interesting thing here. And as always, unless I'm cleaning the whole guitar, I'm going to do one string at a time. And with Fenders, we have the rear feed, always fun. So I pull it up through the hole, make sure it's up. It's embarrassing when it's not quite up and then it pops on you. And the key to this is you pull the string not quite taut. You want a little bit of slack in it. And you go 1, 2. Jack does 2.5. He's better than I am. I go to the 3rd tuning peg, and I snip the string right there. Then in the middle of the slot head, we'll get a shot of this in a little bit, there's a hole. I just stick the string down in the hole to the bottom, bend it 90 degrees to the side, and then catch it on the key. So now we've actually got 2 little bends on it that cause enough tension to where it grips the key quite well. And then I just wind. And if I've got the slack right, I'll get between 2.5 and 4 winds on the key. And I wind it so it comes right slack up against the top, so that the winds are right next to each other and they kind of reinforce each other. And that's pretty much it. And then we do the ubiquitous stretching of the string. And that's pretty much the Fender technique. Now you'll go, well, wait, you get out to here, there's no more tuning keys. So let me do the other E to show you how to deal with the fact that there aren't any tuning keys. The more astute of you, or let me say the more or less caffeine starved, will probably already guess what I'm going to do, but I'll show it to you anyway. And we'll get it's hiding in here from me.
How do you know what you're grabbing?
Well, we're using D'Addario EXL 110s. D'Addario uses a color coding, so the E strings in any given set have a chrome ball, The high E and the low E is a brass ball. And then they use different color coatings for the rest of the strings. So when I have this mess of strings, I can tell which one. Now if we get a close-up on the different colored balls. So black, green, and red. Which makes it difficult to mix sets because black on one set will be 40 and on another set will be 50. So you kind of have to go with the sets that you're using. Okay, but we're talking about the high E right now for the second. And again, leave a little bit of slack. I go to the slot, and then I need 3 tuning keys. So instead of looking out this way, I go 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm going to cut it. It's pretty straightforward. I knew some of you guys out there already figured that out. But we'll just go through the methodology here. And again, through the hole in the center, a hard angle across. The high E sometimes is a little bit funky about it. But we'll just wind it up and everything should be just fine. A big part of what the tuning key does, I think the engineering term is it's a capstan. And the actual string winding around the shaft gives it most of its grip. We put those angles on there just to kind of get it started. But as on a sailing vessel, they just did 3 loops and started cranking. And it actually works pretty well. We'll run through the string tree at this point. Crank it up. Oh, well, forgive me, I didn't quite get it right. But that's essentially how it works.